This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Skye Nicolson here in Leeds. Skye, good to see you. As I said, it's been a while since I last saw you. How's life treating you? How's life as the champ?
I know, it's been a minute. Like I just said off camera, I mean, life's still life, but now everyone calls me champ, which is quite nice. Can't complain.
I'm glad to hear it. Just to start off on that point, just take me back to that night, that crowning moment. First world title under your belt. How much did that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very special moment. But I know it's not my ceiling, and I have so much more that I want to achieve. So while it was obviously a highlight in my career, it's still just the beginning. And I mean, I feel like it was a very comfortable fight. I didn't really get out of second gear, and there was like maybe a little bit of disappointment from myself inside that I didn't do more. But at the same time, maybe a little bit of disappointment that it wasn't the fight that I really wanted. I didn't want to be fighting for a vacant belt. I want to be dethroning champions. I've said it from the start, obviously, but obviously very blessed to be in the position I'm in. I'm world champion now, and I'm hoping that having the belt opens more doors for more opportunities as well. And now there's apparently a target on my back. It means that I might be able to get more fights against higher opposition. So, yeah.
We'll touch on some of those fights very shortly, but just to stick with something you mentioned earlier on there about you felt like maybe you could have done a little bit more. You'll always have your critics, and one thing people talk about when they watch you is maybe seeing a bit more of an aggressive nature from yourself. Do you feel like it's just not been something you've had to resort to so far? Do you feel like it is something we will see when you step up the levels, or do you think because you have got an awkward style, it's something which you don't really need to do?
It's definitely something I just haven't needed to do. In the Perez fight for the interim title, they had open scoring, and they read out after the fourth round that it was even. And I think that for me, like, flicked a switch, and I went, wait a second. And you probably saw a more aggressive version of me than you've seen in any of my other fights. And I think sometimes I just need that something that just goes, do more. And I just think, like, I have these fights, and there's no urgency for that do more, because I'm just winning comfortably. I'm in my comfort zone. I'm just doing almost the bare minimum, and I frustrate myself a bit with it because in sparring I'm doing a lot more. I'm aggressive. I'm spiteful. I'm hurting girls in sparring, and then I go into these fights and it's almost like safe mode. So I do get frustrated with myself, and I've been talking about it with my team, and we are looking at trying to get more aggressive, stronger opponents, maybe punches, opponents that are hopefully going to like put me under that pressure and make me have to bite down and fight a little bit more, because obviously these girls that are coming out and just trying to box with me, it's quite comfortable for me, and I'm not feeling any urgency to do more, and it's a little bit of a mental battle I have as well. Yeah.
It's an interesting point just to kind of keep to. You mentioned kind of safe mode when you're in the ring. Is there somewhat more of a fear as opposed to sparring? You mentioned being more aggressive in sparring. Is there more of a fear when you step between the ropes because it's your professional record at stake? It's a world title at stake. Is it the fear of losing all of that as well?
See, I don't even think it's the fear of losing or the fear of getting hurt or anything like that. Like I can take a punch. People probably don't even know that yet because I haven't really even been hit like with anything very clean in any of my pro fights. But obviously my team have seen me get hit in sparring and whatnot. And I think it's like I pride myself so much on not getting hit, or I pride myself so much on like winning the rounds and getting shutouts and things like that, that I almost just don't even want to give them a chance, even though it's probably going to open up better opportunities for me to put them away. I don't even give them the opportunity to land a shot on me. But yeah, again, like I said, I'm probably giving a lot of information to opponents or whatever, but I mean, it's not a secret, it is what it is, but it's definitely something that we're working on, and hopefully we can show a more aggressive, a more spiteful Skye in my next outing or in my next few outings.
One final one on it all then, Skye. Whenever I ask fighters this question, you've seen some unbelievable fights where they're just tear-ups and just absolute wars. At some point in your career, do you want to have one fight like that where you can look back on? And for you, you'd hope you come out with a victory. Yeah. But is there a part of you which would like to have one fight which is just an all-out? It's completely different to what we've seen from you so far, but is it something you'd like?
Barnbuster. I mean, I think I would like to be in fights where I've where I choose my moments and have those moments. I mean, a whole fight of it, probably not, because it's just absolutely not, oh, lighting change. It's just absolutely not my style at all. And I don't think there's ever going to be a fight where I would need to be in that position for a whole fight. But definitely would like to see myself in fights where there's moments where I'm boxing and making them look silly, setting traps, whatever, but then also moments where I choose to sit in the pocket and have a tear up as well. I'm doing it in sparring. It's just going to be that transfer from sparring to the ring, and I think it will come. I mean, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I have a lot of expectations on myself because of, obviously, I know what I'm capable of and of what I want to achieve, but Ed keeps saying to me, just be patient. It's going to come and it's going to flow. It's going to click right at the right time. Because he sees it. He sees it all the time. He knows it's there, and he knows that if I'm put in a position in a fight where I'm going to need to pull it out, it's there. So, yeah, my team's confident in my ability and knows what I can do. And I guess for me, it's just that I just want to show everyone else.
Skye, moving forwards, obviously one fight you've wanted for a while, which doesn't seem like it will probably ever happen now, is Amanda Serrano. She's obviously moved up numerous weights for this Katie Taylor rematch. What's been your thoughts on everything that's happened around that, the protracted chase of the fight with Amanda Serrano, and where things sit now with you trying to secure other world titles?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating that she's going up and fighting at super lightweight while holding the featherweight belts hostage. I mean, the girls that are mandatory, I know Nina Menka, those teams should be putting the pressure on for them to either be ordered to fight her or for her to vacate the belts, because it seems like she's kind of just picking and choosing what she's doing and holding everything hostage here. Like she was obviously meant to fight Menka and didn't earlier in the year, and now she's gone and done this fight while all these belts are just kind of being left in limbo. So it is annoying. It's annoying for me, obviously, because I was mandatory to fight Serrano for the WBC, and she said she was only fighting 12-3s from here on out. That's it. WBC won't agree with that, so I'm not fighting for WBC anymore, and now she's fighting for 10-2s for undisputed at super lightweight. So it's annoying, because if you felt so strongly about that you would lose your undisputed status and let the belt go rather than fight, yeah, that's all I need to say about that.
She's obviously at your weight the biggest name that you could have potentially shared the ring with. When you look at what's potentially out there, not only is boxing about those world titles, it's also the financial stability it can provide for you. Do you feel like there are other big name fights which can still deliver that kind of financial demand you'll have yourself so that you can live comfortably and live the life that you want?
For me, I think right now is to keep making my name a bigger name. So I'm going to wipe out this division. I'm going to beat whoever's put in front of me, whether it's Serrano or not. I'm going to beat everyone there is to beat in this division. If she still won't fight me, then we'll look at other divisions. We'll look at the big fight names in other divisions, 100%. I want to dethrone champions. I don't want to be fighting for vacant belts. If she vacates the belts, I want girls to fight off for them, and I want to dethrone the champions in the other belts. That's what I want. I felt kind of bummed having to win my first world title as a vacant title. It's never what I wanted. I've made that clear right from the start. So, yeah, we'll see what options are out there as time progresses. We've got a voluntary defence a voluntary defence and a mandatory defence already basically locked in for the next few months. So I'm staying active, I'm staying busy, and I'm going to wipe out this division. I'm going to beat whoever they put in front of me, and then we'll look at other divisions if it's still not going to be an option to fight Serrano.
I have to ask Skye, there is a British female fighter which has been linked with yourself in Raven Chapman. Is that a fight which you think we will see in the coming months, in the near future?
Definitely. I think we've both got fights in July, and all goes to plan. I believe that is a fight that will happen in the very near future, probably next.
I don't want to give too much away on Raven, but how much of her career, if anything at all, have you followed? How much do you know about her?
I think I've watched most of her fights. I really like Raven. We get along really well. Have a lot of respect for her. I think she's a great fighter, and I think it's going to be a great fight, especially for the British fans. But for female boxing fans, I think Raven and I have come up at the same time, really. We've been on a very similar timeline and an inevitable crash course, I guess you could say. So no, I think that's going to be a fight that's really going to deliver for the fans, and there's a lot of respect between us, and I think we'll put on a really good fight.
As a Southpaw, I want to get your thoughts on two Southpaws headlining on Saturday night. What's your thoughts on Taylor-Catterall too?
I've been saying in all my interviews today, I feel like I've not jumped ship, but yesterday I was like very comfortable in saying I believe Catterall wins. I thought Josh Taylor was going to have a horrendous weight cut, and I thought he looked great on the scales today. I saw him in the gym last night. He was singing, he was dancing, he was like really good energy to be around, and I think he didn't even have much weight to cut at all. So it's kind of made me think twice about yesterday's predictions. I feel like I'm a lot more on the fence today than I was yesterday. I'm excited for the fight. I feel like it's a fight that who shows up and brings their best self tomorrow night is who's going to win. If you had to say a prediction, I think I'm maybe still swaying slightly towards Josh Catterall, but...
Josh Catterall? That's a new one.
Jack Catterall. Josh Catterall, yeah, that's my prediction. Then you're right either way, no. But I can definitely see Josh Taylor winning the fight as well.
Keeping with the theme of Southpaws, last weekend there was a new undisputed king of the heavyweight division in Alexander Usyk. What did you make of his performance against Tyson Fury?
I thought it was an amazing performance. I think he's incredible. I think he's an incredible athlete. I think what he's done as an amateur, now as a professional and cruiser, now in heavyweight, I think it would be very hard to argue that he's not pound for pound number one. I thought it was incredible. Honestly, I was in awe watching it. I think what he did was very, very special. He looked in trouble in the middle rounds, and he was so patient. He didn't lose his head, and it was almost like he knew exactly how it was going to go. He's just one of those very, very special athletes, and there's not many of them out there that they've just got that something about them that's just different to everyone else, and he has it. And, big respect to Tyson Fury. Like after I think it was round 9, to come back from that and still fight the way he did for the championship rounds was incredible as well. But for me, that was just outstanding from Usyk, and I think a lot of people definitely didn't expect that.
Final one, Skye, just to get your thoughts on. We spoke about her earlier, Amanda Serrano. What do you make of her fight with Katie Taylor?
Oh yeah. For me, I think we see a clearer win from Katie. Based off their last few performances each, I think Amanda's been fighting at featherweight, lower level opposition, not looked overly impressive. Katie obviously suffered her first defeat against Chantel Cameron, who is arguably a top 3, top 4 pound for pound herself, an undisputed world champion in the weight division above Katie's weight, and I think a lot of people thought Katie was on the slide after that loss, and just the turnaround and the performance that she put in that rematch to become undisputed in her second weight division. I think we're still seeing the best Katie. I don't care what anyone says. They're both around the similar age, so I don't think that. I think Amanda has been in a lot more wars. Katie's obviously had her fair share of wars as well, but I think Amanda's definitely had a lot more wars and a lot more time. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I feel like this fight being at super lightweight as well is definitely going to be more favourable to Katie, and just based off their last couple of performances, I think we see a clearer win from Katie. I think it will still be competitive. I'm not writing Amanda Serrano off, but and obviously this is on Jake Paul's card, and there's politics and all of that as well. So, but I do believe, based off what we've seen recently, Katie Taylor wins on points a bit wider than last time.
All right, Skye, it's a pleasure to catch up with you. Enjoy the rest of your time here in Leeds, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.